Alrighty then, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome one and all. My name is Michael, I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer, and welcome to Pathfinder 2nd Edition, The 7 Dooms for Sandpoint. It is so good to see so many of you smiling and wonderful people here. Joining me today are my wonderful Patreons who support the channel, allow me to keep the lights on, and do all this crazy, fun, and amazing stuff. Guys, say hello to the folks at home.
Hello.
No.
Hello.
Good morning.
No.
Well, nonetheless, it is still, well, for most of us, it's good to see everyone. And I cannot wait to dive into today's game. Yeah, before we kick off, however, we do have some people to thank, and that is, of course, our lovely sponsors. We have 3 incredible sponsors here that help us look as good and amazing as we do. Starting with HeroForge for the wonderful art you see on stream here. All the tokens and stuff like that are done using HeroForge. Sirenscape for the beautiful sound effects you will hear when I can find them, and then Fantasy Grounds for our VTT of choice, which of course allows us to connect widely across the vast expanses of our various locations of residence in order to play this incredible and fun game. Joining me today are my lovely players. We have, of course, playing the role of Cinderiel, the cleric of Sarenrae. We have Schoolii.
Hello.
Playing the gun-shooting former guard of Magnamar, we have Westinson, played by the amazing Avarian.
Humbug.
We then have, of course, the thuggish brute from the town of Sandpoint, Peyton, played by our dear friend Neil from Immersion Diversion.
Hello.
And lastly, but not leastly, we have our ranger and husband, good husband, ranger, and former member of the Sable Company Marines, Navander, played by our dear friend Matt from All Things Fantasy.
Hello.
Yay!
I was just waiting for you to leave it at husband. That would have been delayed.
Just husband. Well, I mean, here's the thing. If your wife doesn't remember you, are you technically still their husband?
Well, here's the question, right? If you make a vow to someone and they forget the vow, are you still beholden to that vow?
That's an excellent question. An excellent question indeed. Chat, what do you guys think? If
Like
you
when the ink runs out.
What? It's fine. No, sorry. I'm not gonna hair trigger off Neil. I'm gonna ignore Neil. Neil, you're just there. Just gonna straight away.
All right, folks, you heard him. He's ignoring Neil.
I'm
but
just
it's up
ignoring
to the
Neil
rest
today.
of us now.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Neil's your problem. You deal with him for a game. Okay. So, as we, it's a really interesting question, by the way. It is, if, I think you would be. I think the other person wouldn't be. That would be my statement on it. Like for example, like in the event of your wife, if your wife lost all of her memory, then committed infidelity, I would say that it wouldn't be infidelity for your wife. I'd say that if you did, however, because your wife didn't remember you, then it would be infidelity for you because you're still beholden to the vow, but not your wife.
No, because now we're getting into murky territory right there, right?
No, I mean,
because
in genuine earnest, if they are like incapable of making that, like it's not like a case of this person's forgetful, but like like a 51st dates type thing, where you actually have.
Oh, yes. In that case, yes.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Not necessarily like oh yeah, whoops, that slipped my mind. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. 51st Days, by the way, if you haven't checked it out, great movie. Advertising it for no reason, but still good, really good. Drew Barrymore, Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler has a few really good movies, actually. Like I hate to say it, but he does. He actually does have good movies. Anyway, donations. That's what we're doing, guys. Okay. Now I need to. Oh wait, hang on. Wait, that's vastly wrong. Give me 2 seconds. I didn't even look at what my my stuff was doing. We do have.
Oh yeah, because your Dagger Holdings completely.
My Dagger Holdings has been thrown asunder by the Patreon stuff. But guys, we have a Dag of Holding currently still in effect because it is the new month, so we are going to be doing the DAG survival check in a little bit. But before we do that, we have our Schoolia, can you just tell me what donations we've gotten today? Because I know we got 20 from Mr. Game and Art, 25 from Callie, and 20 from Voltaria. Yep. Is that it?
Yep, that's it so far.
Okay, so
we just got another 20 from Voltaria, so 40.
That's fine. Yes.
So it's 85 so far.
Yep. Okay, so bear with me. Sorry, 2 seconds.
1001, 1002.
Oh, there's 2 20s from Voltaria. Okay.
Yeah, there's 2 20s. Yeah.
Okay, so that is... Wait, so that's 65 in total.
85.
85 in total. Okay. Cool. So that means Dag of Holding will occur in $5. Okay. There we go. Save that. There we go. Cool.
Your percentage might be a little bit wrong.
There we go. Nice. Okay, cool. Well, it's the smallest goal I've ever set. So here's the thing. As we donate, when we get to the end of a monthly goal, every single one of my tables get a shot at what is called the Dag of Holding. The Dag of Holding is this very special monetary reward for those who are donating to the channel. After we get through the survival check, the Dag of Holding is a special magic item unlocked to whichever stream unlocks it. And the group will gain a magic item that is inspired by something from one of my homebrew games. This comes with a story and with a little bit of a tale on like where the item came from, and yeah, you guys get to see a little piece of my non-streaming gaming history, and you get to like help reminisce some of the things here and there. So there you go. Oh, there we go. Now we have hit our Dag of Holding goal. Thank you very much. You have guessed 31415 guesses. Appreciated. Thank you. A jinx point from a variant. Yes, I mean, maybe.
Nope. Hero point for Navander.
Oh, hero point for
He's
Navander.
shy
Okay,
one.
there we go.
All
All
right,
right.
2, but
He's not, because there's the unprocessed stuff. Everyone's actually maxed out.
oh, fine then. Be that way. Jinx point.
Yay!
That gets the 6th jinx point.
That's
That's
it.
fine. I'm cool with 6 jinx points.
Yeah, 12 jinx points.
Where's Westonson?
At one point, I'd love to have a game where we all have unlimited amount of hero points, but every time we get 1 hero point, Dag gets 2 jinx points.
That would be fun.
I mean,
I do it in a horror game. That would be where
Every time you spend a hero point, Dag gets 2 jinx points.
Oh, that's even better.
You have them sitting there.
We have unlimited hero points.
That does feel like it'd be a. That does feel like it should be a Halloween type game.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be down for that game. That sounds like fun.
Right.
First
Yeah.
of all,
Maybe we'll turn that. Maybe we'll turn that into like Jinx Week or something. Okay. So Dag of Holding item. We'll cover the Dag of Holding item when we get into the game because we are grossly getting behind.
You're welcome.
First of all, thank you. Thank you to everyone who is donating. I think I've processed everything, except for the $5, which I will use a jinx point almost immediately for something. Now, first of all, for those of you who are watching the show, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for enjoying this nonsense and chaos. We are actually going to play a game, I swear. First of all, you just by watching the show, you earn channel points that can be used at any point in time in order to influence the game through channel point usage. Things like inspiration, wandering monsters, wandering bosses, divine intervention, divine healing. Tons of cool stuff there for you guys to use, and you don't need to pay a cent for it. Just watch the show and enjoy. But if you feel like subscribers, you earn channel points a little bit quicker than most. I'd also like to give a massive shout out to our lovely Vortaria, who has gifted 5 freaking community subs to the group earlier on today. please enjoy. They are freaking amazing. So yeah, there you go. Then of course we have a number of monetary donations that go towards more tangible effects in the game, though we are now pretty loaded up. I will still explain what we have. First of all, we have the red marks for my players, which are hero points that can be used to stave off death, petition the DM for nonsense, or roll with advantage. Jinx points, which are these purple marks, can be used to counteract hero points, make bad guys roll with advantage, or complicate things ever so slightly. For $10, I will draw from one of two decks I have in front of me. The first deck is a deck of heroic actions that provide a player of your choosing a special free action that can use to get them out of tight situations, as well as a free spare hero point. We also have a deck for the $10 reward of plot twists and flashbacks, which can be used at any point in time in order to just, you know, like basically I'll use them as inspiration to influence the game and, you know, make things, you know, like just play around with them, have a bit of fun, you know, just keep on my toes as a narrator. Now, I feel like in order to make this $5 hero point, jinx point thing pan out evenly, Westonson,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna turn it into a plot twist for you.
Okay.
A discounted plot twist because I like your face. I would like you to pick me a number between 1 to 5.
3.
1,
Very middle of the road.
2, 3. Interesting. Okay. We have bad news.
Excellent. It goes along with the theme for today.
I like it. All right. Okay. Very well. For $20, you can donate to give some of the coveted golden natural 20. I'm the only one who can receive them at the moment, so, you know, if you want to give two nat 20s to Dag, you can. They basically serve as critical hits, and, you know, honestly, sometimes that's what you fucking need. $50, there are 3 rewards for the $50 tier. The first is a magic item to a player of your choosing. This can be a homebrew item you design, something you'd like me to design, or you can give them something from their wish list. This does not count towards their total wealth gain, so this is just a massive boost to them in general. Secondly, you can increase the difficulty of a challenge. The group is facing off with whatever enemy they happen to be, and you can increase everything, making it harder, more difficult, changing the ante, upping the stakes. There's a whole bunch of stuff that'll happen, but is effectively a major boost to the enemy encounter. Then we have our Harrow buff, which is a Harrow reading that we receive, and the whole group will get buffed based on the Harrow draw. First of all, they will get advantage rolls on any of the matching suits that they use to the game, as well as a plus 1d6, and they'll also get a critical success if they manage to fulfill the fortune that the Harrow deck produces. Rawr. And then we have our $100 secret menu item. The $100 secret menu item will be... Oh, I love this. I love this one. Evil Peyton. Evil Peyton will be very, 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 very intelligent. So much so that
Like
he
the
will...
opposite of
that
Peyton.
Yeah. Even...
Uh.
to the point that he will not be able to be killed in a direct confrontation, and the group will have to figure out a way to outsmart Peyton. So this will basically change the nature of that encounter, creating him into basically the $100 donation will be turning evil Peyton from an encounter into a potential proper member of the NPC cast towards the town of Sandpoint, and he may be the biggest threat of all of the clones that are currently around. Basically, the mastermind archetype. Yeah. All right, cool. We're done. Let's get started. Without any further ado. Button.
I was going to say, are we doing?
We might be doing. Yeah, none of my music is working. Makes me sad. Okay, so when last we left our heroes, the town of Sandpoint is one that is not unfamiliar with the concept of dangers and perils, having faced many trials and tribulations in its rather short, relatively, but very eventful history. The town of Sandpoint was long ago attacked by a woman named Nualia, a former member of the town who had been somewhat victimized by its residents, turned to the god of the goddess Lamashtu, and rallied with a group of goblins in order to attack the town and offer it as a burnt offering to her god. This plan was thwarted by a group of adventurers, and Nualia herself was killed. Seeking her forgiveness and redemption, Father Xantus, the town's priest, spoke with the disgruntled spirit, and through some diplomacy, you have managed to convince her to to give up her anger, her malice, and her basically her just herself, in order to pass on to the next world. In order to do so, however, she wished to atone, offering instead that there are 7 dooms coming for Sandpoint that she was aware of, led by a mysterious figure in red, and if our heroes could manage to protect the town and thwart these 7 dooms, she would accept that the town would finally forgive her for all that had transpired, and she would pass on. Already our heroes have managed to thwart one of these great dooms. 1.5, really. The first, of course, the resurrected Rip Nugget, the goblin who was working with Nualia to attack the town, rose as a grave knight that was slain by our group. The second, the Sandpoint Devil, an enigmatic cryptid that is known to lurk around the Parisian countryside, thought to be found and killed along with the capture of the cultist group that were worshipping the beast deep in the pit. And our heroes have not yet found a third doom yet. Maybe there's one. Who knows? But you found a lab filled with clones of the same creature known as a Derrer. As they seem to be experimenting on the idea of trying to become immune to sunlight. And now you were exploring more. In the dungeon, you found some brain devourers who had captured some of the Darrow, ripped out their brains, and started manipulating them. And after killing these tiny little brain hound things, our heroes are continuing their quest. They have noticed in the room adjoining to where they are is what looks to be a Dryder, who they hope to speak to for reasons. And I think that's where we're at. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yep, we just, after sitting down to take a rest, eat. Some people eating some spider legs.
Yeah. All right.
Evander's handing out venison sandwiches to everyone else.
Yep. I do remember that bit.
So, the scene is now yours.
Evander takes a bite out of his sandwich.
The sandwich is of the
That's
tasties.
the last one. That's the last one. Gonna have to go back to town at one point and restock. How are those spider legs, Peyton?
Delicious. They're good.
Sure. Right. Right.
I still don't get how he I mean, the various bugs and all that he used to eat when he was younger as well.
I mean, it's protein. Plus, you get what you'd get, so. I mean, yeah.
Person acts like he hasn't lived in town his whole life.
I mean, whatever. He can eat what he wants. He ate a spider leg. He was curious. And it's good.
That's good.
You got a bit of shit stuck in your teeth.
Okay.
Alright.
Just tendon goes out.
I mean,
So Peyton, you said you saw this woman that was attached to a spider or riding a spider, or what did
Oh.
you see?
Yeah, they came from this room after Ziak died and went over there, and he got taken over by the brain thing. And he ran over that way, opened the door, and then ran down this way. Then he came back and attacked it. I was standing right here, so I could see the whole thing. Um, and then she strung him up, so he's actually in the ceiling right up there. But yeah, she should be in this room right over here.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Nevada's going to put the two out of their misery who are stuck over here by web with his bow with an arrow, and he might take a shot at the guy that's hanging from the ceiling too.
Thwack!
Hi, old Ziak. Hello, new Ziak.
I really hope this is the last clone of Ziak. This is getting way too confusing.
As the
Alright.
clone of Ziak dies, you kind of just continue on. At this point in time, I feel as though you are unflappable in regards to the clones of yourselves, creating existential crises.
Yeah.
But yes. We also have just unlocked the secret menu item, as well as a second Dag of Holding thing.
Ooh.
Secret menu item gives item number 2. Yes, it does. Okay, so real quick. Okay, as you are eating and drinking and just enjoying the fire here, the flames seem to illuminate. Finding this relatively unusual, when the flames eventually poke out, you notice that there are a series of brightly colored crystals that have been used as fire starters in order to light the actual campfire itself, as you sort of like had a look. These crystals, however, have been very misused. These are a series of prismatic crystal. Cinderio, these are a gift for you. While holding one of these particular crystals, you can create one of 7 different spell effects that are based on the color of the gem you hold in your hand when you are casting a fire or flame-based spell. Okay, so
Okay.
you ready for this?
I might make it simple and just play it back later to take the notes.
Okay, cool. So there are 7 colors. So to begin, red increases the intensity of the flame, making it hotter and deal more damage. Orange creates brightness. Yellow heals. Green poisons. Blue depresses. Indigo. What did indigo do? Indigo. I'll come back to indigo. Violet teleports. Oh, indigo. Indigo paralyzes. Now, Violet, when it teleports, what it basically does is it just removes you temporarily for 1d4 rounds, and then you return 1d4 rounds later on fire.
So
You
effectively,
return one on
so
fire.
effectively you go to the astral plane for 1d4 rounds and come back on fire.
Elemental plane of fire, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. Cool. Now, each of these gemstones are like just different shapes of misshapen crystals and stuff. But the story that entails for these ones was that when I first started playing Kineticists, because they were a very, very big, like thing when they came out for the first time in Pathfinder First Edition, I had a guy who was just obsessed with them and wanted to make them. And this was actually one of his ideas that he had, because you could change color of, fire with crystals. He proposed the idea and then asked if he could have like these work at like the prismatic ray spray. And I thought that was a little bit too powerful. So we created several different crystals that he went around collecting. And that was his quest. His quest was to like try and find each of these crystals. And eventually he made like an infinity gauntlet like style glove with each of the crystals on it. So he could use them anytime he wanted to. It was a very cool character concept. The next item from
I was going to say, is that a consumable and how many?
it's not consumable. You have 7, and you can only hold 1
Right.
crystal per spell. Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like, okay, yeah.
yeah. The next item is for Westinson. Now, Westinson, you will acquire what I like to call a little buddy bullet. A little buddy bullet is a stack of 6 bullets. Well, I mean, your rifle technically is a rifle, so let's go with 1 bullet for now, and we can add more as we go. Effectively, it is a bullet that is actually also a clockwork toy. It can never be destroyed. It can be shot at people and used as a regular bullet, but once fired, it then transforms into a bullet-sized little dude.
Transformer.
And it just sort of, it just follows your instructions. It does whatever. It does return to you in time, right? But you can basically talk to it, communicate with it, and get it to do things.
It's got a bullet companion.
Yeah. This was actually a concept I had for my first inventor character, who actually had the prototype companion. I wanted to like try it out and play it out as a playtest, and I thought, how cool would it be if I could turn him into a bullet? But obviously, size-wise, you can only make them small. So I made him. I made it really tiny, and I was like, like how cool would that be? It had the personality of the robot from what do you call it? Rick and Morty, the one that's like pass the butter. Lunch is my purpose. Yeah, it was basically just this very or Marvin from Hitchhiker's Guide. Yeah, so this bullet, Westinson, is now yours. You have acquired one of these. In the room that you were taking a rest in, you kind of found a bullet, and you kind of wrote your name on it, and then you kept it.
Well, so my name is now on a bullet. No one can shoot me.
Exactly. Because if you own the bullet that you shoot with with your name on it, you're less likely to get shot by it.
So,
Make sure no
for
one picks
reference,
your pocket.
when you get a moment, Dag, go to YouTube and look up Skippy, Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay.
Oh, why am I not surprised?
That is now what I'm thinking the personality of said bullet is going to be.
I will. Hold on. Let me add this to the list. That way, I'm not gonna forget it.
Beat up, beat up.
And then I'll try to role play it as best I can. Skippy Cyberpunk 2077.
You named the bullet Skippy.
Oh, actually, you know what? I think I have seen this. I've seen the like shorts of this.
Gun.
Yeah. Now activating headshot only mode.
Mode.
Yeah, no, I do remember.
You have killed 50 people. We are now activating pacified puppy mode.
Okay, cool. All right, done and done. So those are our two Dag of Holding items. Thank you so much for that. Cookiemon also coming in with another $40 donation, which I imagine will just round us out and fill up everything. So now there's nothing to donate. That's it. I mean, no, I don't want to say that because I feel like I'll jinx myself. It's like, just tons and tons of plot twists. But, yeah.
I would like to use all 3 of my hero points in a nat 20 to...
No. All right, here we go. After eating your meal and enjoying yourselves, we take our next moves.
Okay. Did we say then we wanted to go check out the room with the spider girl in it, or were we gonna head back home then?
We can't spend much more time in here. I'm running out of supplies. And I know none of you brought supplies in with you, did you?
Only the dried yucky stuff.
So we need to head back to town so I can refresh our stock.
As they sit down and
I
pull
will
out
give
an
you. I will give you the
incredibly dry piece
DM.
of
The
meat.
DM thing. You would have to technically go back the way you came. To, Actually, no. You. Wait. Where are you guys? You guys are here. Hold on. 1 second.
Yeah,
How
we've
did you-
actually just come down the stairs for this place.
Yeah. Oh.
Hmm.
Okay. So you have to come here
Yeah.
through the pit.
Yeah.
Okay.
we
There's
would've
two. No.
literally
No.
just come in
I'm
through
just.
here.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the map. Because there's a second part of this level, but you can only access it through the pit, not through the underground area. You know what I mean? So when you're actually in the pit, you go down, and that's where the teleport pad
Teleport.
is. Yeah. So the easiest way back to town would be to go back to where the Darrow cloning lab was.
Get another
Was it clear
Ziak.
neighbors? Yeah.
Get another ZA.
But if you want to talk to this Spider Woman, Peyton, you're welcome to do so.
Maybe you
mean-
should at least thank her for saving you, because she did kind of save you from getting
Yeah.
dogpiled.
I don't want to go in alone though. She does look kind of big. I
You
mean,
just call her
no,
fat?
you don't. No. She's just like tall.
And then he takes his hat off, puts it to his chest. You have
Alright,
a lot
fine.
to learn, kid.
Okay.
I will
Wish you
go and
luck.
thank her.
Okay. You head over to the
If you hear
doors
to
and
scream, come and get me.
you head over to the doors and open them, entering into what looks to be a large web-choked chamber. The floor of this
can't
large
see.
cavern lies 40 foot below, where a dangerous-looking tangle of densely packed stalagmites point upwards at varying heights, some exceeding 10 foot tall, transforming this entire cave into something of an immense spike pit. To the east, west, and south, ledges that roughly are about the same level overlook the cavern below. To the east and west, you can see the tunnels that seem to lead out of this chamber. Covering the entrance is a thick gossamer web bridge that seems to go between several of these platforms. Climbing across them, you can see the Drider as they are maintaining these bridges.
Hello, Miss Strider.
The Drider turns to see you.
Yes. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say thank you for saving my hide back there. You probably weren't doing it for me, but I just want to say thank you anyway. That is all.
Thank you. Come again.
You are welcome. It is not often people from the surface come here. The creatures of the Darkland sometimes slip through the darkness and climb this high. The leg-addled cave stumblers don't do well down here.
I can see so. Anyway, we're gonna leave you alone. So that you don't, because I don't want to, get in your way of anything. We're friendly. But
Are
we may be
you
coming.
scared, little surface dweller?
Scared? No, not at all.
You have nothing
Deception
to fear.
check. Okay.
Yep, go on, make a deception check.
18.
This is what you're seeing, by the way.
Yeah. Oh god. Whoa.
No, she can't fail. Oh, she can fail. I lied.
Oh damn.
She believes you're not afraid. Or she doesn't care. Either way.
Yeah.
But as long as she doesn't notice any spider entrails still in Peyton's vest.
Oh, right. Sure, I just say it with a leg, yeah.
So they're chewing on a leg.
Anyway, we will need to come back down here because we are currently searching the pit, for some dooms. And,
You will search the pit for doom, you say?
We were asked by a ghost friend named Walia to search for the 7 dooms of Sandpoint. And,
A ghost friend, you say?
Yes. Well, she was alive at one point and then she died. Then the ritual happened and brought her back. And she asked to take down the 7 dooms to gain her forgiveness. And yes, and that's why we're here. We killed Rip Nugget. You don't look scary. Like I said, I'm not afraid, so you must not be a doom. Which we need to go further down because we're trying to find the Sandpoint Devil.
Peyton, you also forgot we forgot to tell her what you had for breakfast.
And your
Right.
address.
And your social security number.
Your mother's maiden name.
Anyway,
Name of your first pet.
She looks at you as you have quite literally gobbled just a ton of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I could have just skipped the recap this week. And she
Introduce
says,
Peyton to a new NPC every session.
and giving her next to no chance to respond to a single thing you said, she asks if you have a manager she can speak to.
No.
The carrot of Driders.
So you are the leader of your group?
Yes.
How much this conversation echoes out to the corridor, by the way?
None.
No.
I was going to say, because I don't know where Cinderella is. She just walks away.
She says, then I ask of you, if you wish to travel through here, then you must beware. The beast that resides in the northern corridors will prevent you from moving. Tread carefully, but you cannot leave it, nor its offspring. If you seek a doom, then that is one sure as I am 8-legged.
To the north, you said. Okay.
She
Thank
points down the corridor here.
Okay.
Just beyond the chamber, over the lonely edge.
Okay. Thank you. I will go let my friends know. We'll be seeing you, and I will come back. And I tell them exactly what I had heard.
As soon as I see Peyton walking through those doors, I hand the vendor a silver coin. Because obviously I lost the bet that he was going to get killed.
The vendor takes it, but he's not happy about it.
Fair.
So, Peyton, have you made another new friend?
I mean, she doesn't want to kill me. But she said if we're looking for dooms, there might be one down to the north. Where she is, down the hallway.
You were there for a while, Peyton.
I mean, yeah, I was explaining why we were down here, and that we weren't here to kill her.
No,
so we were,
stop.
yeah,
Peyton, stop.
yeah.
When a monster asks you why, did the monster apply you for information? Or did you just go off explaining what you were doing here? And please don't tell me you were telling the truth.
I was explaining why she didn't need to pay us mind.
Make a bluff check.
23.
Make a
I'm gonna-
perception check, Navander.
Yeah.
Since you know Peyton, you have advantage.
Ah.
Can I use a hero point to reroll that?
Sure.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Well, it's not a crit fail, so there's that.
You believe Peyton.
Just remember, Peyton, any creature in this area can be against us.
You're right. Yeah.
This creature that you're talking to might be behind one of the dooms.
Or maybe be a doom herself.
Exactly right. Keep that in
Oh.
mind.
He gave me an insight bonus, John.
Peyton's like, yep, right, sure, that's keep that in mind, then, doesn't it?
Indeed.
Well, if Peyton's friend's telling the truth, we got a doom effectively on our doorstep just now. Or we potentially just fall back to make sure our chef gets all the suitable sandwich materials.
I'd be okay with that. I did mention we would be back at some point, so it's not like she's not expecting us. So
That's true, but you're also leaving the doom to do whatever it wants. And did you
True.
mention the fact that it has offspring?
yes, because I told him, I said everything that was told me. I told him, so I didn't have to repeat it.
Yep.
So, just to sum up, you saw a large insectoid person who actively attacked things around us. You proceeded to explain your life story, the story about everything involving why we're down here, and then told her to rest assured we are currently leaving and may be back later.
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure we were all on the same page.
Alright. Weston, do you have any resist fires by any chance?
I can in the morning.
Alright. If this is what we think it is, I still don't know if it's the Sandpoint Devil though. Perhaps we should send Peyton to poke his head in and see what it is before we see what weaknesses it has.
Oh, since he explained to potentially an ally to the thing that we're hunting that we're going to be back at a later date and that they should probably prepare for us, Peyton is 100% leading the way in.
Realizing that your party was not overly keen on the forthcomingness that you had to this complete stranger with no prompting whatsoever, we like to call this the Tom Holland, aka Mark Ruffalo effect. As answering questions no one asked. Peyton, you lead the others into the next chamber, in which the Drider is, of course, awaiting. She pays you no mind and continues about her work, and allows you to pass over the web bridges with no problems. You begin to head to the north, realizing there's two pathways now, one to the east and one to the one to the east and one to the north. Continuing northward, you find yourself in another tunnel. This is the Lonely Edge, a tunnel which slopes down noticeably at a quite decent angle. As you get to about here, you can see that there is a ledge that sort of rises up a little bit. Do you wish to explore that ledge or keep going?
I mean, sure.
Make a perception check.
28.
Nice. You find a secret door. which leads to a different tunnel. This one you can see actually has a sort of a stairwell leading down, just off to the side there.
Okay. Hey guys, I found a door, like a hidden path. It looks like it's got stairs going downward.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in there.
All
Where
right.
you go to stay?
Oh, so Daryl, I need you up here too. I can't see. Okay. Whew.
Okay. You begin to make your way down the flight of stairs until eventually you arrive at a chamber. The ceiling of this 30-foot diameter cavern rises to a domed 15-foot above you, but the floor is split apart by what looks to be a pit that drops down 20 foot to a lake of dark, still water.
Ooh.
A stone sarcophagus sits on the eastern ledge of this room, its sides carved into images of what appear to be coiling snakes wrapped around the figure trapped within.
Guys, there's like a sarcophagus on the other side of the room. And it's like there's like a split. It's a cliff with water, still water at the bottom. Is what it looks like.
I hope you're not thinking about trying to grave rob anyone.
No. Because I don't think we want to disturb anything.
What does the air taste like down here? Magical?
It's like magic.
Oh, there is a very potent amount of magic here.
And if I was to get a flavor of type of magic from the air,
One moment.
It tastes like
The
raspberry.
flavor of magic. Okay, so it is straight up magic, you know, like basically like just there's a large quantity of it.
yep.
From here you don't get a very distinct flavor, just that there is a lot of power here. Oh, right. The closer you get, though, if you get to, let's say, here,
Yeah, I was gonna say
You-
about looking over the water.
you
to the
could
water.
you could taste necromancy on the
Oh, for him.
sarcophagus,
Mm.
but that's
So
not I mean, there is that, but there's also the magic in this area.
Oh, okay. So it's not just the It's not just like the.
It's not overwhelming
taste of burnt
necromancy.
toast. Yeah. So it's not just the taste of burnt toast, but there's other stuff around the area.
Yeah, think of it. Yeah, think of it like
Yeah.
imagine if you would an area of just potent magic of all varieties.
Yeah. Yeah. Sindaro, Westonson. Patient.
Generic magic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There is a bunch of magic in this area. There is the taste of necromantic magic on the sarcophagus itself. However, that's not the only magic in this area. I think between the two of you, you have more accurate senses than I do.
You can taste magic. What do you mean?
Yeah, I can, doesn't mean I can identify it. Like it doesn't mean I can differentiate the different magics. There might be like between the two of them, I can't taste divine magics. Divine magics are different.
No, they're not. You can taste divine magic.
Yeah, but I'm not specialized in divine magic. That's a Sindari.
Oh. What
It's
you mean
like-
to say? What you mean to say is okay. I can taste the magic, but I don't know how to interpret it because I don't know magic of like I'm not smart at book stuff. I can be like num num num. Yep, magic.
So what I'm hearing is it's the Eastern cuisine versus the Western cuisine at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Nevada can tell you the risotto is done, but he can't make it. You know.
Well, maybe there's some.
I love
Yeah,
the fact you
exactly.
detect magic
I can-
with taste.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what would you like to do?
I want to look over the edge and see if there's anything in the water.
You look over the edge at the dark abyss that is the lake beneath you. There is nothing
I
in
don't.
the...
If it's dark, yeah, I can't see because I don't have dark vision.
Or I could finish my fucking description, Neil.
Sorry.
It's fine. Because of the darkness of the actual water itself, you do not see anything. But more importantly, you also notice that the water is quite still, meaning that there is likely no movement beneath the water either.
Okay.
Every now and then, maybe like a breeze hits it, and you can hear the small lapping of the water against the rocks of the two ledges, but that is about it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in the water since it's still as it is. It does look like this room might get bigger, but I can't see. You can only see what.
With
Sorry.
the size, Sandero will approach a bit closer with her light, so you
No.
can actually.
All right.
There's something over here.
You can see that there is indeed another ledge that leads down a different corridor and different tunnel. Now, unless you want to sport a 20-foot jump, you might need to jump across here, then here.
Yeah. I mean, I might be able to 20-foot jump.
Westonson, I'll need your help. Can you come look at these walls for a second? Tell me if there are any structural points that I can use to tie a rope or something across.
Sure. Fantasy Grounds is in the process of crashing, so I'll walk up and
Oh,
do a
no!
crashing check.
That's okay, I got you. All right, Westonson, as you cast your gaze around, any of the surfaces, honestly, would do perfectly fine.
Okay. I point out one that's easily reachable that will give them a decent angle for attaching a pedant to.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Stabilize it. Shoot the rope across the road. Shoot a grappling hook across.
Sure, not a problem. Thwang.
Easy done. I only have the one grappling hook. If you need another one, that's on you guys.
All right. Do we want to cross, or was it because
No, he just wanted to do that so he can hang his laundry.
Fine. I will try to climb across then.
All right, make an athletics check as you attempt to climb across.
Silver says there's something in the water there, Devander.
26.
All right, you climb across.
Darn.
Now, the moment you make it across, you believe you can hear something from the sarcophagus.
Sounds like fingernails scraping on wood.
No, not quite. It does sound very unusual. It doesn't sound like, an undead or anything like that. Yada yada yada. There we go. There's a sound like a surging, rustling noise within the stone coffin. Almost like the sound of waves over a gravel beach.
Guys, I can hear something coming from the coffin. I don't know what, but
Is someone there?
Okay. Peyton,
Hello?
if you're hearing something coming from a closer sarcophagus, I make the recommendation you just come back. Come back.
I got a better idea. Actually, quick question. The sarcophagus itself, does it look like it's like connected to the rock floor?
No. I mean, it's a big stone sarcophagus, not really connected. It says,
Can
please.
I push the whole thing into the water?
You can if you would like to make an athletics check. Please,
We'll
I've been
push-
imprisoned here for so long.
Just a question: are we using Sandpoint counters?
We can.
It's like never trust anything in a sarcophagus, especially this far out. Dang, 20.
You're unable to push it.
Oh, dang. Okay.
You know, what'd
So
be really
yeah,
funny. You know, what'd be really funny is if and look, Neil. I want you to look at the camera. I want you to look at the camera right now,
Yeah.
Neil. Now we know that this cute, lovable goofball here doesn't think longer than 3 seconds, right? Neil, look straight at the camera, down the barrel, right? Okay, take a moment here. Now, what if I was to tell you that someone from Sandpoint got kidnapped and this is where they were keeping her hostage? There we go. You see how the brain is slowly starting
Does
to
it
tick?
sound like a girl?
It did, yeah.
It does?
Again, you,
Oh, okay.
you didn't find out, however, but the thing is going into the drink apparently because
I
that's
couldn't
about
push
as
it.
long
You
as
said
we
it
like to
was-
think
I
about
couldn't
things.
push it. Dang. All right.
I know, it's crazy. Anyway, so going back to it, did you hear anything it said?
It said I've been trapped,
Hmm.
but
For
at
so
the same
long.
time,
Is anyone here?
yeah, for so long. It's
Yep.
yeah.
And
All right. Well,
Westonson
since I can't
and,
push it,
and
yeah.
Westonson has suggested that if you're hearing stuff, come back across. To which your response
Okay.
was to try and push the giant stone slab into the water.
I've now come
Um,
to the realization, Evander, that Peyton is going to kill me.
Trust
He may
you.
not mean to. It may not be his intent, but he will be my undoing.
all right.
You know,
I will
when I
then
first took this
probably
job, I thought
go
it'd be
back
nice.
across the rope.
Yeah.
When I first took this job, I thought it'd be
Make an
nice
athletics check.
wandering through caves, attacking monsters. But no, the real problem was watching Peyton.
26 again.
And this is when Michael reveals the big twist secret at the end is Peyton was always the seventh doom of Sandpoint.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We've been saying that the whole time.
As everyone's sitting here, no one is surprised.
Dressed in red.
He has the big
Second-
reveal moment, and it's like, I'm the seventh tooth of we know. Everyone in
No.
Sandpoint's like, we know.
Considering all the clones, I'm just waiting for it to turn out that this Peyton is one of the evil clones.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what-
true.
Just another evil clone.
Okay. Anyway, Peyton returns.
I'd like to point out if that's the evil clone, what does the good Peyton look like?
That's the one in town.
That's the one in town. Yeah.
The smart
That's
one.
actually starting a small business and helping out. Anyway.
All right. Yeah, that sarcophagus definitely said it was trapped here for a long time.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. On that note, let's just
Alright.
go back up the corridor and leave the talking sarcophagus alone.
No. There might
So-
be something. If it's asking for help, we can't just leave it.
No, we can.
So, as a, so question: as a group, we know that there's people missing from Sandpoint, correct? That's the table question.
No.
Okay.
No, I was just being
Okay.
Yeah.
Pedantic.
well, it's a case of like jumping to conclusions rather
Yeah.
than actually
Yeah.
investigating, or engaging in
It's
any
almost
kind
just
of
kill the
actual
townsmember.
tangible
Okay.
role play. It's just like there's a million things. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Side question: if the voice was loud enough to echo through this very small chamber, is it a voice that any of us from Sandpoint would have recognized?
It didn't echo. The only person who could hear it was Peyton,
Peyton.
and it was a softer voice. It sounded feminine.
So Daryl, I kind of vaguely see images carved onto that. Do you have any other ideas what that could be?
I'm guessing I can't read it at this distance.
Not so much symbols, just what looked to be the bindings of a single coiled serpent, sort of like made to look like it's wrapped around the sarcophagus itself, like it's keeping it closed. It's not,
with
but
this
that's
bit-
just the design.
And with this being a sarcophagus, would that have any religious signal connotations?
There's a few things you could potentially consider, because of the serpent motif, but none that spring to mind.
Do you need to get closer, Cinderio?
No, not just now.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I just thought maybe if you could see it better, you might know. But
There's nothing to read, then she doesn't need to.
all right, what do you guys think? Do you want me to go back across and open the sarcophagus?
So there is a secret door leading to here.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That implies there is a door.
that was the one you came through? Yes.
Yep. Great. Westonson backs up to the door.
Very well.
Well,
There you
Fancy
go.
grounds recovered.
Nice. There you go. All right, cool.
because I feel as though Cinderio's torn. It's one is there's someone there to potentially rescue, and two, it's potentially desecration of the grave.
All right.
Well, not desecration if they're alive.
You know what? Worst
You
case,
don't
you
know
guys
that.
can cover me.
Ugh.
Sorry, what, Navander?
You guys can cover me. Peyton, you stay right next to me. Sandara, you'll stay on this side.
Okay.
If it's something awful, then it's only me and Peyton going down.
I mean, you use a boat.
Weston's
but
covering
you
our
could
escape
do
route.
something from there. Yeah. I figured if I open it, then you're over here away from whatever's over there.
No, I'll take care of this one, Peyton.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll come over with you then. Athletics check.
Athletics check to get across, Michael.
Oh,
Mhm.
shit. 16?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh. Whew.
23 to get over.
Yes, indeed. You both get over very, very easily.
I rolled a 2. That was scary.
Now that now Navander's closer to the sarcophagi, can he get a sharper taste of what sort of stuff's happening around here?
The sarcophagus, as I mentioned, has the flavor of necromancy about it.
Yep.
But there's still that very, very strong, that's still that very, very strong smell of, just general generic magic that just lingers everywhere.
Navander's going to clap his hands together, place it on the sarcophagi, and try to cast Dispel Magic.
Okay. As you cast your spell, the wave of energy flows over the sarcophagus. You feel something break, though you may not necessarily be sure what exactly.
Is anyone in there?
Yes, I am. Who goes there?
People who happen to come across this room, you got a name?
I do, and it's a good name too.
Well, I'll remember it in just a second.
It's a good name. I haven't heard of that one before.
A strong name.
I am
Heritage.
Zalavexis.
Sorry, Zaphasis?
Zalavexis.
Salafexis. Okay. Tell me, Salafexis, how long do you think you've been in here?
I don't know. It's hard to tell time.
Are you hungry? Thirsty?
Both.
I have a carrot. Would you eat that? Just give me a sec. It's kind of difficult to open it up. Just keep talking to me. Just keep answering my questions. We'll get through this.
Yes. I suppose a carrot would be quite nice.
Do we open it then? If we
As you go to open it, you notice that the voice comes from the air above the sarcophagus rather than in the sarcophagus itself.
All right.
Oh,
as soon
shit.
as I notice that, I'm stopping to open. I'm not. I've stopped. As soon as I notice it's coming from the air just above,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I'm going to stop opening the sarcophagus. How
You
old?
cool
Are
if-
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Matt?
How old is he?
How old are you?
Me?
Or she?
I am 37 years old.
And why are you in here? What was the last memory you've had?
She pauses for a moment. I don't really wish to talk about it, but
Perception? Or no, I don't know how to say.
Oh, how do I even go for this?
If they're lying?
it's she says it's difficult to talk about, which she is not lying about. It is difficult to talk about.
Peyton, I need you to get over to the other side. Get Scenario one of her searing blasts, the one that does the thing against the undead.
Okay. I just kind of look over to Cinderial, try to get her attention, and I go. And then I point at the sarcophagus as it looks like we're about to get ready to maybe open this thing. I'm playing charades.
Now, what year is it?
She says a year that is a couple thousand years ago.
You don't serve one of the Rune Lords, do you?
I am a citizen of the Rune Lord, but no, I do not. In fact, they are the reason that I am in here. You see, I was formerly a servant of God's name is escaping me.
What's in?
La 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 la. Lyra LaRue.
Oh, okay.
Lyra LaRue.
Which was the patron god of the Rune Lords during the time of their empire.
That. All right.
But I was rejected and placed in this sarcophagus, supposedly as punishment. I thought that they were going to keep me here for a short time till I'd repented, but I have long since repented. And they keep me here. Is the headmistress ready to release me? At this point, I don't care anymore. I just want to go home.
Hold on. We'll make sure you get home. Peyton, go to
You just carry
Sindaro.
this.
Peyton, go to Sindaro. We'll need an exorcism.
Okay. Whoops. Grabbed the whole ground. All right.
Da 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 da.
All right.
This is the point where this is the point where I can tell. This is the point where I can tell you that you could just shout from the other side.
Yep.
But I don't know if we want her to hear us
Sure.
or the sarcophagus. Yeah. So I just climb across and say, "All right, Demander says we need an exorcism."
Well,
At this point in time, Peyton, you can tell Scenario what's happened. You can describe the whole conversation.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You do so.
I'll tell exactly what happened. Yeah.
Now, Westonson, while that is going on, from over in this area here, you start to hear the sounds of, like, I don't know, like digging, like really heavy earth and stone being moved. We flash backwards to a bar in Magnamar.
Mm.
You were there to meet up with your cousin. What's your cousin's name?
Uthar.
Uthar. Very well. You see Uthar sitting at your local watering hole, awaiting you, wearing his garbs of that of a crystal miner, He specializes in finding rare and strange minerals for jewelry and the like. And every now and then he comes to Magma to peddle his wares. At which point he and you meet up for a catch up and drinks and stuff. Now in dwarven culture, families are very very tight knit. This cousin was one of the cousins who shared the home that you stayed in, and was what we like to call the curtain cousin. A curtain cousin is you sleep effectively in the same bed with a curtain that runs between you. That's how close proximity dwarves can cohabitate. So being your curtain cousin means that, you guys basically grew up as like almost like siblings. Every day you guys were right next to each other for like all of your downtime and stuff. So you guys are quite close.
Rock and stone, cousin. What brings you to the city?
Rock and stone, yeah, I know, and look at you getting your tan up here in the sunlight. You're looking good, Westonson.
Yep. Not choking on dust and stone chips.
Yeah, well, you know what? You get the sweet scent of it. You just can't get enough. But you know what? We're not here to talk about work. Let me buy you around. He gestures and waves as two bubbling, boiling dragon breath ale stouts are brought before the two of you.
Dragon breath. You must have gotten paid well this last haul.
Well is an understatement. I found a vein of rare marigold jade that was just cut through the mountain that we were in. Made a small killing we did, and well, we didn't really have to split it that many ways, unfortunately.
No.
He
Jade is a dangerous stone to dig through.
he takes a swig and he just kind of like, you can tell he's like choking on like the spiciness of it. He says, no, what weren't that? Turns out, what makes the jade, marigold, is we found out is passing through the gut of a boarworm. Something about the chemicals and minerals and interactions. It's not the dwarves. The family made like some breakthroughs or something like that. But when we were digging it out, what we didn't realize was the damn beast was still there.
Didn't you listen for the sounds, for the worm signs?
Oh, yeah. I'll never forget them now. As he recalls this, Westonson, you stand in that cave. You hear the sound of the stone moving. You hear the telltale cracks and snaps and pops. Something that isn't a pick striking against stone, but razor-sharp edges burrowing. Not just one, not just two, but a small swarm of infants, just like your cousin encountered. It wasn't just a single giant bollworm, but their offspring, a litter of effectively tiny little, like shark-like drill bits that were just tearing through flesh and stone like it was nothing. And you hear them swarming just around the corner. Over here.
To pull a reference to Dune, how well do they sense vibrations in Earth?
Super well. It is literally their only way of detection. By the way, this is this is how we begin with bad news.
I will put my only two alchemist fire bombs next to the door, so if something disturbs them, they will tip over and ignite.
Yep.
And then I'm going to back down the hallway, walking without rhythm.
Well, you are actually fine here because remembering the door is on a ledge,
Oh,
so
that's
you're not.
true.
Yeah, so you're not connected to the thing, so you're good. But you're still taking care because, That's not something you fuck with. So, as you come around, Peyton is finishing his story with Cinderial about the person trapped in the sarcophagus. Westonson has, like, kind of almost like a... Like, Westonson is an unflappable individual, but there is definitely some sweat that is kind of under the brow of his hat.
Folks, we have a bit of a problem.
Oh, what's up?
There's a cluster of boreworm infants just down the hall from where we came through the secret door.
Ooh. That's not good.
Any large noise or vibration, and that will bring them running directly for us.
Okay, so you're saying be careful if we have to move anything.
Yes.
Okay.
And try to be as quiet as possible.
I will go let Novander know. By the way, Westonson, we're doing a exorcism.
Oh, I figured there was going to be something ludicrous. I'll be
All
back by the door. The boreworms are probably more
Sounds good. It's
welcoming.
All right, you head back to the door.
Sarah's just like, an exorcism isn't going to be a quick thing.
No,
Right.
it's not.
Cinderio, do you climb across as well?
If the plan is for Sidereal to try and do an exorcism on the sarcophagus,
You need me to carry you across?
We'll see.
If you fall in, I can. Oh.
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh. I tell Novander what Westonson said about the boreworms.
Navander swears quietly.
And hopefully,
Okay.
and hopefully Navander knows that such an exorcism is not going to be fast, and she might need a little bit of assistance doing some setup. Thankfully, she still has some holy water and imagine a few other things in her inventory.
Mm-hmm.
And presumably she'd have done some studying on how to do this type of ritual.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'm happy to say that.
All right.
As
In
you
which
work
case,
together.
she'll start.
All right.
3. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. As you start to, I need you guys to make a athletics check.
Athletics?
To open it.
Alright, we're open the door. Stay still. Don't move. You're fine.
Right.
Okay, thank you. The two of you slide the stone slab, and as it does so, what is revealed is quite horrendous.
Oh, God.
A collection of writhing and wriggling worms that make up a humanoid form as it stares at you, rising up. He says, "At last I am free." The voice sounding nothing like the woman you were listening to.
You know, I should have pushed it in the water.
Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. What is your goal if you're freed? There's nothing that says what your goal is. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I am free. that is what he says.
Coffin with you.
Make a religion or an occult check to begin the exorcism.
I'll leave that to you, Scolio.
Alright.
I'd like to use a hero point, unless that's...
No, just leave it. You're good. You begin to cast your exorcism. The creature looks at you and says, Are you trying to exorcise me?
Trying to end your pain.
I'm not in pain. Well, I mean, I'm not anymore.
You
And,
look in pain.
And I'm also not I'm not dead. The worms kind of... There's definitely life here, for sure.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Now he's dead. No.
You look confused.
Well,
Allow...
clearly something's been corrupted.
No.
Any of us have a mirror?
No, don't. Not yet. He needs to
okay.
come to terms with what's happened.
Allow me to tell you my sordid tale. Maybe perhaps then we could illuminate something instead of you all looking at me really weird. So, first and foremost, as I said, my name is Zalavexis. I was imprisoned because I dared to challenge Lyra Leroux's, Lyra Leroux herself. I was a specialist in negotiating arrangements between those who understand and work with pacts, specifically genies and elementals, but I'd been known to help deal with pacts for devils and demons as well. My aid was significant in securing the extraplanar aid that Lyra Leroux needed to finish the chambers that eventually would become this this dungeon or this pit. But the more I did, the more she saw me as a threat, the more she believed that I was too dangerous to keep around. Eventually, she saw that my magic had grown too powerful and lured me into a trap. I was ambushed. But that was only because I was trying to ambush her. But my ambush failed, and I was trapped after it backfired in this sarcophagus. Paralyzed and trapped, I was then devoured by hundreds of flesh-eating worms, harvested from the abyss, and I have become this thing you see before you.
Okay.
Lyra Leroux also decided to save me from death and allowed me to suffer eternal torment by enchanting the sarcophagus so that I would not need to breathe, eat, or drink, and I would still remain alive the entire time I was trapped. Which
So
was the
now
necromancy you noticed, Navander.
Yeah.
So now that you're out means that you need to eat, breathe, and sleep.
Yep.
Oh crap.
I'm really sorry you had to go through that, dude.
Thank you.
But still, the ages have passed. It is no longer the world of the Rune Lords.
Well, there is. You see, Lyra Leroux is trying to assume the position of an 8th Rune Lord.
Ah, shit.
It is why she set in motion so much of this place. I can tell you some of what I know. I know that she believed herself to possess the same sorceric power that the Rune Lords once did. She sought the ancient runes and artifacts and worshippers, such as myself, to aid her in her endeavors to try and take this position of Rune Lord. She also knew that the Rune Lords had found ways of circumventing death using cloning technology. Simulacrums and the like.
Oh, no.
So she enlisted the aid of several creatures from the Darklands to help her with her research.
That's what's above us. Okay. or below us or around here. Okay.
And as previously mentioned, a number of packed creatures also now bind themselves to her service.
Packs that you helped create, right?
Back when I foolishly thought myself to be her worthy aid, and not her superior, which I now believe myself to be.
Well, lucky for you, we are quite anti-Rune Lords right now, so...
Oh, well, me too.
But only right now. It's subject to change without notice, but right now we're anti-Rune Lord.
All right, well,
Could help us with the runes.
well, you've helped me out, and I have been denied my freedom for far too long. So I'm going to go and enjoy it.
If I were you,
Good for
though,
you.
I'd do perhaps something with your complexion. Maybe
says,
a glamour spell.
I will consider working on a glamour spell. And, look, perhaps in the meantime, as a more tangible show of my gratitude for the freedom you have afforded me, you watch as he removes a finger, which is, again, everything in his body is just comprised of worms, so he pulls off the finger to remove the ring that he's wearing, and he hands it to Peyton. Hey, real quick, guys, we have a raid from the shiny boy. Welcome in, dude. How you doing?
Hey.
Good to see you. What have you been doing? Playing some Pathfinder. I love it. How'd your game go? What happened? What are your highs? What are your lows? Tell me all the stuff. Spill. Our group is currently exploring one of the dungeons on the Devil's Plateau, where they have found a sarcophagus which contained a creature known as a worm that walks. Because they freed it, it kind of sees them as allies and is now going to try and, go about its business and do its own thing. But yeah, they're just kind of talking with that, just releasing the wormy guy. And the item, by the way, Peyton, that you get is the Greater Ventriloquist's Ring.
Ooh.
So he gives this to you as a more tangible show of his gratitude. Now, before I forget,
Is that a ring on the party sheet, or is it just something I have to put in?
something you can put in.
Oh, okay. I'll just add it to my inventory.
Okay.
Then. Ring of Ventriloquism.
Okay, one moment. Aha, there we go. Okay, cool. Now, one of the packed magics that I can tell you about is there is a man who is working with some of the stolen lore that I was made apparent, which I was making, right? About binding magics and the like. His name was Jordis Munt. Now, he is attempting to transform himself into a creature of legend. A great and powerful flying equine beast that breathes fire. There is a
Okay.
ritual chamber somewhere. He points generally to the south.
Okay.
Yep.
So that tells me, the equine fire breather. Yeah, that sounds
you.
what we're looking for. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, that is all I can tell you.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna leave now.
Okay.
Goodbye. Splort.
Goodbye. No, he just jumps in the water.
He does, and as he jumps in the water, he discomporiates and splits into like more of these worms that just swim in the water and find their own way out.
Okay. Huh. I'm gonna just close the sarcophagus so it doesn't get any smell out.
There is no smell. There is nothing left
Oh,
behind.
okay. Got it.
All right. So that's
Cool.
one thing that we're going to have to deal with in a future date.
Hmm.
Westonson, what was that other thing that we have to deal with now?
Probably a bunch of borer worms that are delightful little creatures. Many a dwarven miner has bet his untimely demise to them.
They are incredibly dangerous.
They can send vibrations through rock. They hunt in the yeah. Horror
Do
stories are
they-
told to children.
What do they
about
eat?
these. Dwarven miners.
Oh,
Anything that fits in their mouth, basically.
If
I was
it's made
gonna
of
say,
rock,
basically they
flesh,
could drill through the ground and go after Sandpoint. Sounds like.
anything made of rock or flesh will go through them.
So what I'm hearing is throw little pebbles potentially, make them conquer one area, and then try to crush them.
Try to crush them.
When they appear. If they're not
I
digging.
guess that could work. If they dig, they can get through it if they're digging. But if they get dropped on them, they're not digging it, so they could get crushed.
Yeah. That might work.
It sounds like we're going
Ideally,
back to go fight them.
we would wait for them to pass by
Yeah.
and find interest elsewhere.
Do we want to continue down the bottom to the south then, like the guy was saying?
This isn't the thing that she said that was creating more offspring. Was she?
Oh,
Mating?
It could. She said it
It's
was coming from down. I don't know if it was the worms. I didn't
It's
get a
a
good chance to look down there, but she said there was something was spawn down there.
There's a large
Yep.
pack of barworm juveniles. So maybe
Could we drive them off,
And remember,
maybe?
do not
Instead of fighting
forget. Do not forget. She also said that its mother was there too.
I'd also like to point out this is not something you drive off.
Oh.
They
Well,
are
then,
top of the food chain.
then yeah, maybe we go the other way.
Wait, you just said top of the food chain.
Mhm.
No, I'm the top of the food chain.
Evander runs off to go fight him. Trent!
I give a silver coin to Sindariel. Just constantly losing bets.
You had to say that, Westonson. You had to make me challenge. You had to say those words.
Does Evander go running off?
No, but now I do kind of want to fight them.
Me too, honestly.
Yeah, but you have a different reason.
Yeah.
Oh, look. I will watch, record your deeds, and sing them as tales to people in other towns.
As the warning,
All right. What's the plan?
Do we have a bead on where do we have to go back by them?
You don't have to. You can return back to Sandpoint, back the way you came previously.
There's also this corridor
How
over
often do they range?
Do
How
what
long would they-
range?
Do the barworms range? Like, what is the odds that they would lose interest and move on?
Oh, if they're nesting, then they will need to consume a great vast quantity of food before they move on.
Yep.
Ah, crap.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
I
No, it's me as a
Oh.
player having a bad
Yeah.
idea, not that Sindera would have the bad idea.
oh no, Westonson just had a bad idea.
Feed
we
them
have-
Sandpoint.
Well, yes, we
No.
still have a lot of From Weston's
No,
point of
we
view, it
never
would
have to
solve a
fight
lot
this
of
in.
problems. There'd be a lot of problems solved by feeding them Sandpoint. But I was thinking of just hooking up the clone generator as a meat producing factory.
Yep, that was my idea. Plenty of clonderos up there.
But the problem is
my
we then have a
God.
whole herd of adult boar worms instead of just a bunch of juveniles.
Yep. The counterside is
Commander,
if you
you're
fed them,
probably going to get your wish. I
if you
walk
fed
over
them
and pick up
poisoned
my...
meat, you never know.
Oh, I go and pick up my alchemist fire bombs by the door.
All right. Let's head
These
out.
are
Let's
something
go.
we cannot leave alone.
Yeah. All right. We're heading back to the worms.
Okay.
Daryl.
So, you head back to the worms.
I set up my thumper and draw them to Peyton.
Wait, what?
Sorry. Back to more Dune.
Yeah.
Oh, oops.
I don't know if you
Right,
keep
these
alternating between
worms.
Dune and Twisters. Sorry, not Twisters, Tremors.
Tremors.
Okay.
Was watching someone play the new Dune MMO. The Shai Hulud looked phenomenal in that game. Absolutely terrifying.
Heading to the north, our heroes find themselves at a 20-foot drop, which marks the entrance to this large cavern. The ground below glistens with a thick layer of transparent slime. Swaths of the stuff cling to the walls here, but don't reach the ceiling, which is 30 foot above you. Numerous stalactites hang upon the ceiling, and the air in this room has an unpleasant tang to it, not like the scent of burning hair.
Ooh.
In this room, I need everyone to make a stealth check.
Oh, that's what I do. Well.
Disadvantage.
Yeah, 'cause we've got
Disadvantage from the crow.
Oh yes,
Back.
disadvantage from the crow.
I got a
27.
Oh no, I got a
An
25.
11 for Novenda.
All right, given 34 as the perception check you need to beat.
Oh god.
Well, with the disadvantage, Sandero gets a 10.
Yeah, there's a critical failure for some of them. Now, you look around, and the floor around you appears to be wriggling, as you can see the bullworm infants literally just swarming around, but then one large, very vicious-looking bullworm that appears to be brandishing a sword.
Oh shit.
That's new.
And a wand.
And a
That's-
wand.
Commander, that's yours.
Best of both worlds. It's a mega sword.
Does anyone speak Undercommon?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
Hey, I got. Oops, I hit the wrong one.
I speak Dwarven and Common.
All right. Well, in which case, it says something telepathically to you all, and waits for a response.
What does it say?
You have no idea.
Oh, right, because it's an undercommon.
I ask it to repeat itself in Dwarven.
It lets loose a terrifying shriek, which is then followed by a cacophony of the bullworm shrieks as they all begin to converge upon your location.
Fireball.
Nailed it.
Basically what it says is, in Undercommon, it tells you to jettison your meat rides and submit to the worms, because it thinks that you're the intellect devourers. So it's telling you to basically jump out, leave the meat with these guys. Yeah, which you're not, obviously. So it is now, yeah, it's basically clear your intruders, and they are attacking you. All right, but that brings us to the end of today's game.
Can't wait for
As
this one.
we will return for the epic battle between the ballworms and our heroes. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming and joining us. I hope you enjoyed today's session. I know that I did. I honestly did not think the worm that walks encounter would go so well. Apparently, when I play them, they become very non-threatening.
You have very sympathetic
I'll bring
character
it
tag, and it's like, I feel really bad for killing this guy, and
Yep.
he's justified.
Yeah. Also, for some clarity, I did misunderstand. So, Lissa LaRue is not the god of Thalassian like I thought it was. So he has not been trapped here for thousands of years. He's been trapped here for a while, just not thousands.
All right.
I mean, I'm still happy to have him worship her as a god, but Lissa LaRue is a new player on the field. So after Return of the Rune Lords in Pathfinder 1st Edition, she has now been doing things to try and become the 8th Rune Lord. So this is picking up that story at the end of those adventures.
No, still anti-Rune Lords at the moment, so it's all good.
No, fair. I know it doesn't change. I know it doesn't change much, but he's not thousands of years old. Is pretty much the big thing here. Sneaking in a hero point for Navander, and a last-minute donation from Callie. Callie, thank you so much. You lovely,
I was going to
beautiful
make
being.
donations next weekend. Interesting.
Yeah, I know. What am I gonna do? Just everything's full. It's just like secret menu or nothing. That's
Sorry,
okay.
this is with
I
secret, but
reckon
he's not
you
here.
guys are gonna get through a few hero points next week.
Yeah.
What makes you think that?
Because I mean, honestly, bullworms and their swarms, they just do auto damage. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, swarms are pretty bad.
Yeah, swarms are nasty. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. My name's Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. You can find it here a number of times during the week. A big, massive shout out and thank you once again for all the support for today. This was truly a very amazing stream for support from the audience today. I will say this as well. This weekend I will be heading down south for a birthday celebration with my beloved partner. So there will not be a Pray for Death in the morning. So no Pray for Death in the morning, but Gatewalkers is yet to be seen based on how quick I can get back up with traffic and all that. That being said, Pray for Death does still have a Dag of Holding attempt. So we'll remember that if they hit the $55 mark on Pray for Death the next time we play, they'll also get a Dag of Holding as well. But yeah, there you go. Cool. Well, guys, thank you so much. And until we meet again, stay safe, stay wonderful, be kind to each other because why the fuck not? It's free. And until we meet again, game hard or die trying. Good night, folks.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.